Welcome back, everybody. After, well, nearly a 12-hour, well, a 13-hour day here at the Elisa Masters Espoo 2022 Day 1. We are back with our final game over at the B stream. Is going to see Heet take on Havu. My name is Ted, and this time around, I'm actually joined by the lovely Retro that's just transitioned from A to B stream. Unfortunately, we've downgraded him a little bit.
Mate, I see this as the best of both the A stream and the B stream, like the best of both worlds, you know? And we're here to watch some top quality Counter-Strike, while obviously the game in the grand scheme of things not meaning much. Just fighting for pride at this point, right? The experience, the opportunity, Havu getting things off to a good start. Zen's found body, exercise, good response. Afro, you know, he's getting a couple of flash assists, but it's on his teammates as Jocko and Jax pick up the kills. X7 and Aerial now left in the clutch. Jax hit them with, I think, a bit of a jump shot. No, it was Afro, never mind. I tell a lie. Okay. It's Jax and Afro that survive, and it is indeed Heet with the pistol.
Yeah, I thought that was a Cali moment there for Heet. That would have been emblematic. Yeah, you know, the French scene and all of that, but... Yeah, for those of you that are just joining in, ladies and gents, lovely folks at home, and for those of you that are still awake for whatever reason, this game, in the end of the day, doesn't really make that big of a difference for the standings in Group A, right? We just had Sprout, Ensign, Big confirmed as the 3 teams that are going to make it through, although I'm unsure on which team's actually first place and which team is second. I think Sprout is
number 1, Ents is number 2, Big is number 3.
Yeah.
That is confirmed now. And so basically that means, you know, second and third didn't really matter. It's just seeding in terms of a quarterfinal game. It matters now that obviously it's Sprout that get that channel into the semi-final, at least on HLTV. Yeah. They're number 1, and I think because it's done on head-to-heads, it would be the case.
Yeah, and for those 2 teams, they're just fighting for, you know, pride at this point. Havu trying to get at least 1 victory here under their belts. On the other side, we have a Heat that actually fell short in, well, pretty much all of their games, bar the final one that they did lose. So, yeah, they're going to be looking forward to try and pick up another win here just to make sure that, you know, at least they have something under their belt, because they've been actually playing some good CS. I've liked them throughout this day. I feel like, especially, you know, highlighting a person like Body, he's been absolutely phenomenal, especially after the first 3 games, from which I believe they lost 2 of them. He was actually the highest rated player in the tournament back then. Not anymore, though. Still, back into the action. Havu on the forest buy. The Rifles have found a couple of kills, but the Scout of Afro on the other side of this could be dangerous.
Dualies, yeah, nice attempt. Havu, despite, you know, a bomb plant but losing the round 10, looked to be in pole position to be able to convert the response. Jax is tapping away. 1 versus 3 for the M4, but this will be better used in the next. I don't think he'll give this one a stab whatsoever. No kit, no util, just the head Kevlar and a dream as he backs away towards T-spawn. And that's Havu with a pretty respectful response.
Yeah, it was a nice double kill coming in from Zen. Jax just realizes that he needs to hold on to the rifle. They will have to force in the next one as well, so better just have something to go off. It was a good shot from Afro there on the Scout. Doesn't really change all that much, though, unfortunately for him. And X7's even on the hunt. Jax might go down, and indeed he will. The recovered M4 is going to take him. Havu leveled things up early on. I believe this is actually the first time today we've seen both these teams play Dust 2, which is, oh no, Heat actually did play on their in their first game. I think you covered that one. That was against Big.
Yep.
Yeah. And again, it was Body to actually top the scoreboard there. It was a 27-20 performance.
Body had an unbelievable first few games on the A stream. I think if you check the second game, he went like 28-20 as well. Like he
went 30 on the second.
Oh, there you go. Like he was really popping off. He was really finding some success. And if I'm honest with you, this Heat side, as much as I wanna sing and dance and praise, I think they 100% could have had much better openings today. You know, the first 2 games, 100% could have gone their way. Just a shame to see that it was a Body show and no backup dancer really around to help out Heat. Jax is providing some of the help though. 2 kills from the Scouts. It's Afro alongside him, holding hands as they fight the push of Havu, and the pressure amalgamates to a 3v3. Got to be careful for long though. 2 players face. The Scout does duck in, and Jax finds another.
Yeah, that's really scrappy from Dodo, and Jax is actually going to be able to run away towards short. He continues to land tags. Look at the Scouts from Jax and Afro. They find every single kill there. Heat, somehow they managed to convert around that. They shouldn't be winning any day of the week.
That's unreal that they find that. I don't know. That's brilliantly taken care of. 2-1, Heet, win the pistol, lose the force buy, win the force buy back. Like, it's already shaping up to be a crazy game. And obviously, you had some pleasure of watching Havu. We did on the A stream as well. I don't know about you, Ted, but I've been very impressed with their performance.
Yeah, I feel like Bard's Proud game. Yeah, about Bard's Proud game, they've been actually able to put on a bit of a fight, which, you know, always impressive. You know, they are playing on whole soil, so we kind of expected them and hoped that they would be able to get at least one victory under their belt. And maybe this is the game for them. Well, you'll still have to deal with the Frenchmen. And at least in this round, it looks like they're going to be able to put a stop to that force by roller coaster that we've been into.
A lot of noise, but Zen meets his matchmaker. It's Body's M4 to take him down, and so deducted down to 2. Havu left with an AK and a Deagle to try and spike this Heat economy as best as they can. But caught in a bit of a fluster on this force buy. The round will end at least with Spargo standing his ground, but with 2 HP and one hell of a dream. Heat with 4 players alive, bomb possession, everything you could ask for. He will become dead meat, and it's Afro's flank on long that delivers the killing blow. Heat are 3-1 up here. CT side starts looking pretty good.
Yeah, unfortunately for Spargo, didn't really get a lot of chances there. But yeah, Havu, they've been putting on great fights. You know, for those of you that haven't been able to follow their games, they did start things off with a 13-16 loss against Gamer Legion, lost 12-16 to ENCE, lost 15-19 to Big, and then their final game was the 8-16 against Proud. But at this point, it didn't really matter, did it? I mean, they were already out of the tournament basically. I mean, but the first 3 games were kind of close.
If you want to do the maths on those first 3 games, right, it's 10 rounds split between 3 best of ones. That is the difference maker from Havu going 0-3 and 3-0, right? Like, that's how influential and how tight those first few games are, right? A 16-13, that's a 3-round difference. 16-14, a 3-round difference, and a 19-15. That's OT, where literally 1 round makes the difference between a 16-14 and a 15-all, right? So for Havu, as you said, it's been very narrow margins. And by the 4th game where they get pumped by Sprout, there was no possible chance of qualifying to the playoff stage. So, yeah, it's unfortunate that the nail in the coffin was drawn so soon, because they've actually had a really decent run in this event in terms of the scorelines. I mean, overall, group standing won't look too pretty, but I think they can be very happy with how they've been playing today, Havu. I've been pleasantly surprised to see how well the Finns have been capable of. Yeah,
same for Heet, though, as they're going to pick up the slack in this round. Exercise, he's been quite crisp, and a lot of those Heat players have been quite crisp in some scenarios. Making their way out of middle, though, Havu, they found the right gap in the defense, and Body, he's going to get taken off guard, but look at the double push towards lower. They're completely unaware of this.
Nicely done. Exercise picking up the last couple. Heat 5-1. It has been a pretty grand opening here. Havu back to an eco, no bomb plant, so not really many luxuries when it comes to the half play that they're going to present themselves here in number 7. Maybe the odd Deagle, Tech 9, flashes, smokes. Maybe they want to try something fast towards B and just get in the faces of Heat, because right now it feels very mid-roundy from them, Ted. You know, it's been a lot at the minute mark kind of calls, especially in these force buys and the full investments where they've executed short. They've maybe moved in towards long. They're trying to make the play towards A. Something like a pace change could pay dividends to them. The start of this one, though, sees Dotto to the death screen very early on.
Yeah, they're trying to be kind of methodical on the T side of those two, which is, you know, a good approach. I feel like those two nowadays requires a lot more just playing the slow game and clearing out, getting map control. But it's always tough when the CTs are playing such an aggressive style, and Jax is going to push from long once again, picks up 2, looking for a 3rd. He spotted both players, and he's going to hold on to his position. Goes for another one. Jax is just having some fun. Spargo finally takes him down. But then you have Body for the final shutdown. It's a 6-1 start, and these rounds have been extremely close, by the way. In contrast to a lot of the games that both these teams have played so far in the tournament, Heat have actually been able to kind of run over Havu so far.
And it's a test of exhaustion at this point, right? For Heat, they seem very switched on. For Havu, you know, should be used to the late night grind. They didn't have to travel far either, obviously being a Finnish team. It's probably the closest out of the lot of the teams that we have here heading to the Espoo. But,
Well, yeah, they are from the same country.
Yeah, well, yeah, exactly. It's like a walk for them, you know, compared to the other teams.
Like the closest. Yeah, I live 20 minutes away.
Like a bus there, you know. Yeah, exactly. Nah. In all seriousness, though, I was going to say, like, for them traveling, obviously they had a media day yesterday. I do believe they flew in the day before, so they've had some time to acclimatize themselves. But
yeah,
a very long day, right? You got to think, if you start your first game 11 local time, you're going to be in the prep rooms at 9 a.m. playing a game or warming up and giving yourself some time to get into the feel of Counter-Strike, especially for an event that obviously I haven't really talked about it much, but the collateral, not only do you win this event and earn a fair chunk of change, 100 grand, right, for first place in terms of dollars, but it's also a Katowice 2023 spot for play-ins, right? That's massive. You got to think half the pack in that event get Katowice. 5th to 8th, 1st to 4th, you know, no matter how it comes, you get the slot in the double elim bracket. Shot at Katowice, one of the most respected events of the year. This is a massive chance, especially for the teams, obviously, that are invited. Those are the teams that have narrowly missed out time and time again, and this is where a storyline really can form.
Yeah, that's true. Oh, I don't think they've seen Aerial. Okay, now they have, and Exorcist is going to be able to drop him down. Zeno with the refrag. 2 versus 4 still with Joko towards the double door. Should be able to collect both of them there. And it's just Spargo manages to get one. Actually,
Bomb
could
plant?
get away with the bomb plant. Yeah.
Movement.
Yeah, he's going to get it. At least the money.
Flash over the top body. Giving it a good tap. Spargo even lower. It's the AWP. He made the step. Afro, too obedient. He knows about it all too well. And there you have it. 6 now turns 7. It's Brazil on the server today. We're not in Rio, though. We're in the Espoo. As Heet have themselves a massive, massive margin. Of course I did, man. Of course I did. It's, you know.
Yeah.
Even ESL did it on their own stream. Did you see? Like, they even put the flags up and everything. Like,
you know, that's really brave, to be fair.
It is.
Especially when the tournament is getting... Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. It's a Brazilian tournament, so it's really brave to go for something like that. But apparently people have self-irony, and, you know, they can have a bit of a laughter for it. One thing, by the way, that I think it's kind of cool going into this game as well, is the fact that Body, he released an interview on HLTV like 2 hours ago, saying that, you know, if the French team's perform is going to give hope to the French scene again. And what did you say?
I did see this, actually.
Yeah. And I feel like this is going to be like this. Pretty much implements the motivation that he has going into every single game. That's why I think they're going to be playing on 100%. But speaking on about 100%, the pace is going to be on 100% for Havu in this round. They're picking up the pace massively. Body needs to be careful. And what a Ferrari peak from Aerial.
Yeah, that's the thing that Havu have got going for them is explosive riflemen. You know, they know how to find the picks. They're very quick in reaction times. There you have it. Jack's one right back. That's his 12th kill in 9 rounds, Ted. He's having a great game, a great start to D2. A retake that requires a little more willpower for the Heat side as Jack's finding kills. Aerial, 1v4 now down to 2, but being 11 points of health, I really don't see a chance in this one. Afro, edge of the smoke, he's able to fire around, bend the bullet to find Aerial, standing behind the little blocks on site. I don't know what they're called, like little sandbag thingies, you know. Nonetheless, Heat,
yeah, a box.
8. Yeah, I mean, it's not a box, but it's like kind of...
Oh, no, you're speaking about the ones towards the ramp. Yeah, it's a sandbag, yeah.
I don't know. It's not the traditional, like, Inferno sandbag or, you know...
No, it's a different one.
It'll do. It's late now,
yeah.
You know, it's like gone midnight for you. It's 10 p.m. for me. We've been up for 17 hours now. The clock is counting. It's been a long day, but it's been a great day at Counter-Strike, may I say.
Yeah.
Like, across both streams, I've been checking in every now and again. Like, man, we've had some brilliant games.
Yeah, I'm actually surprised that both teams are still able to play, you know, up to that tempo.
Yeah.
Heat with a really good recovery in the previous round. Havu with quite an explosive play, as you pointed out. But now they look to change it up, going towards the B-bomb side for the first time. And Joko, he's holding a really aggressive angle. Indeed, he's just going to walk into them.
Yeah, brilliant. First kill is his. Aerial will trade at least. So 4v4, 5 HP for Aerial. They're going to continue to pressure out, but Exercise trying to hold his ground. Great shot from Zen. Afro hasn't moved. He believes there's someone in middle.
Yeah, he's waiting for a lurk that's never going to come. Everyone is towards the B-bomb side, and now they got to play the 3 versus 3 retake on the B-bomb side of Dust 2. This could be extremely hard. The main man is going to be Jax coming in on the tunnels lurk. They need to make sure that they keep those T's occupied enough.
Oh, Oh, messy spray. Doto nearly finding it, but the clock is continuing to burn, Ted. You mentioned it. It's the B site of Dust 2. One of the harder ones to get rid of. A great tap away from Doto. Messi as he empties the rest of the mag in the direction of Mr. Jax. At the end of the day, though, Havu will eventually find themselves a second, scraping some kills together. They actually do it by elimination. A great adjustment from Zen. Ultimately, though, you know, you've got to look at the scoreline, and we need to see more of the same here from Havu. Being 6 rounds down, they've got to make the change.
Yeah, that was a bit of a scrappy retake coming in from the Frenchman as well. We saw the team flash as well towards the tunnels. Jax not quite able to participate in the round whatsoever. The Oper was just trying to keep them occupied and, well, just went down without really getting into a fair fight. In the end of the day, it was a nice switch up from Havu. A bit of conditioning. Now you're going to make Heet being a little bit more afraid over towards that B-bomb side, but picking up the pace once again, trying something different. Aerial already made his way out of long, but there is still 2 CTs on the other side of that smoke, so he needs to be careful.
Body.
Whoa.
Straight through the smoke. That stings, man. I think we've all been victim to that kind of spam. That's why I hate Dust 2 alongside the mid double doors, is just how ridiculous some of these angles are. Body's just going to rattle their own piece of Spargo. His 9th death in 11 rounds so far. This is a great crossfire. One on the elevated angle, one positioned close. The flashbang goes afar, and Doto's to gut out Jax. Now all of a sudden, Heet, hard-earned work, unraveled a little bit here.
Yeah, it's a good refrag, but what you're risking right now is the fact that you have no presence elsewhere. And take a look at that from Exorcist. He's cleared out the entire map. They know exactly what's going on, and that boost is going to give them another kill, but they don't need to rephase. They know exactly where every single Havu player is, and Afro, he can just hold the line. Surely he spotted the Oper.
So, flash blinding Afro off the angle, and AWP that doesn't connect and may just provide a little bit of safety here for Havu. Problem is, I'm looking at that util, Ted. We've got one more molly, well, 2 more mollies, excuse me, and a single smoke to try and cross this A site. One smoke definitely isn't enough. There's going to be gaps left and right. You need 2, and ultimately Ariel is just going to, you know, do his best to try and cover it up. But I think Heet will be able to poke some holes through, unless it's a deep CT smoke, in which it is. And now Afro going to be forced off the angle, but of course, it exposes them to short. Jocko will fire through the smoke. Body and exercise both with kills. 9-2 Heet. It's business as usual as they lock down the A site.
Yeah, there was only 15 seconds. They had to be really quick with it. Short was one problem. Exorcist had already cleared out the entire map, so he was already on the lurk. Even if they win the fight onto Joko towards short, they're still going to be taken down from behind. That was a really good round from Heet. You know, seeing the proactivity on the CT side, constantly trying to charge them, take some space, get a rough idea on what's going on. Another quick fight towards long, though, and Body is going to spot a lot of people. Damage done, no kills found. Ariel finally going to drop him, and a man advantage, in fact, a 2-man advantage going in favor of Havu.
Very sloppy at the beginning of that round there for Heet. Very disjointed, it felt like, you know, on the B-hold, you know, one player in pit, one person in the smoke. This is just not too ideal. Jocko, nice shot, exercise. The shadow gives everything away. A Pika's advantage that favors Zen in that engagement. Havu, 3v2, so a man advantage now make it 2. Jocko in the 1v3. I mean, at least his position somewhat known. A smoke that misses. Oh, Jocko very close, X7. We'll hold things down, and that's Havu up to 3.
Yeah, that was really awkward there for a second. It felt like Joko had the double kill, but still, Havu able to get around towards the latter stages. Well, 3 on the T side is not going to be enough. At least, you, for the first time in a long time, you've actually put the economy of Heet in somewhat of an awkward spot if they lose this round. So you might be able to build up and maybe go for 5 or 6, which is going to be all right. You could bounce back on the defensive side of things. Still, though, they've been just going for different rounds every single time. And again, it's going to be B. They're just going one after the other.
Flashes at large. Jocko, got to be careful. A smoke in front of him will create a metaphorical barrier. You can shoot through it from both parties, but he balances it very nicely around the edges. Jocko's M4 will find one. Does get traded. Exercise here to respond. Otto with one of his own. 3 versus 2. Heet now level pegging as X7 finds another, but Jack's catching the lurk, and all of a sudden it's the bomb left on his lonesome here on B. 1v2 for X7.
Yeah, he's going to get aggressive. This is a really good approach right now. He realizes that if he gets the bomb down, he's kind of letting them have the advantage. But look at Heet. They've realized that they can just hold. They don't need to move towards him. And X7, does he realize what's going on? I think that at this point he has. He just needs to get the bomb plant. Make sure that you have money in the next round at least. Let them come into you on the retake. It's still 1 versus 2. It's not like it's a 1v3. 1v3, you would have had to go for the fight 100%. You can still try and isolate 1v1s here, and he spotted the Oper. Does he realize where Jax is coming from, though?
Flash is good. X7 back turned. Usually it's the YOLO play through the smoke that rewards a frag. Now it hits an Afro. That's disgusting.
Oh, lunatic.
Yeah, I mean, that's a real roll of the dice. Do we have time? No kit? Okay, I was going to say Afro should be getting on it, not him. Jax would just pass it over, and with the kit, they do have the time. 10-3, a one-sided game. Heat are making things quick as well. It's nice to see how pacey these retakes have been, and yeah, how careless, but how productive Heat have been. The French side have been looking unreal.
Yeah. 10 on the CT side, looking for even more. At least they get the bomb plan out of this one, Havu, so money is going to be all right. Still, it's a little bit awkward. If you want to go for a full investment, it's going to be really scrappy. So maybe a half buy would be the better option, and that's what we see them go for. They still have enough money to put Spargo on a scout. There's going to be plenty of utility, actually, going into the round. So Dodo might get into an up-close fight. He, though, surely realized that. Oh, they have no clue.
Yeah, I was going to say, the pit play...
He would have loved to have anything different from Tech 9.
Yeah, nice shot at least. But yeah, you are right. An AK, you kill 2, maybe even 3 because of the car player, right? But it's nice to see the distraction play made. Now the short player blind. Afro finds 1. Got to be cautious of long. Every nook and cranny cleared with the shotgun, it feels like at this point. Switches out to the AK, but it's a 2v4. And Havu, despite having Tech 9s and how it plagued them so vastly in the first few moments, they're now looking good. Spargo nails the shot. 1v4. Jocko left save him.
Yeah, that's a complete shutdown. It's a 1 versus 4. You need to hold on to the M4. That's going to be the only gun that they have in the next round as well, right? Money is not there for Heat. That was not a round that Havu was supposed to win. But again, you touched upon it, I think, 2 rounds ago when they picked up their last buy round. Heat are really disjointed towards long in the beginning of the rounds, right? Whenever Havu tried to challenge and they just throw a couple flashes, it just feels like Heat are really unaware on where those Havu players could be. And even though the Tech 9 whiffs the first couple shots, he still manages to get away with a kill. That opens up a lot of space towards middle for his teammates to utilize. And from that point on, it just felt like Heat were completely unaware of the quick pistols just running at them. So now it's the other way around. Now there's 3 pistols on the defense, 1 M4 for Jax, and just the cheaper version of the old for Afro.
Zen, Doto both who kills bodies, Deagle at least finding something. M4 of Jax tries to sideswipe the hold and instead results in a 2v2. Body. Now, what was that? Did he just throw? Was that a pistol? Did he... Oh, mate, that's a smart decoy.
I think that's
a very smart decoy.
Yeah.
Like, throws the gun to try and take the eyes off, but obviously now that molly is going to force him out. And, well, had he have jumped on top of the box, Aerial could have been dead meat. Instead, the molly will burn. 10-5 at the half. Heat are in front.
Ah, really?
Mate, I love a bit of nuke. I used to hate nuke. I used to say nuke was worse than D2, but
I haven't really heard people say minus nuke plus train or whatever.
I wouldn't say train. I'd like a new map, personally, Ted. Like a completely new map, like an ancient introduction, you know, where it's so out of the blues, so out of left field.
No, I want cobblestone or train. I want something old. But speaking of something old, well, Body's been giving headshots for a long time now. One of the most experienced guys in the server, if not the most experienced guy in the server alongside Zen. This round's already kicking as Havu are looking for that CT side victory. Otherwise, it could be Heat to run away with this one quite quickly.
4v4 scenario. I mean, it's all kicking off, but it's all damage, no kills. Feels like airs being thrown at each other right now. Spargo, Doto, both 17 and 16 points of health respectively. I mean, Aerial's not far from death as Exercise rattles the shot off Body. Jax, Afro, all with kills.
Ooh.
And that is very, very quick. And, okay, I think both of us are going to have Twitch chat open, and I've been keeping a keen eye. A lot of people saying D2. A lot of people saying a bit of Mirage as well. I've been seeing a couple of people calling for Cash, and I hope they mean old Cash, not new, because... mate, new Cash, way too green for my liking. I just, it's like the nosebleed map of CS. It's just so green.
Yeah.
And I play digital vibrance and everything like that. Like, mate, it wrecks me. Honestly, I can't play.
I actually wasn't a fan of Cash, so I'm not gonna speak about that.
Wow.
Going back
really?
into the game, it is a forest buy for Havu. A scout for Spargo. You've seen Spargo on a scout. I've seen Spargo on a scout. He's quite sick. But a couple pistols as well. And losing a round like that is actually going to put you in a really uncomfortable position right now. You got to step up your game. It's going to be the B play coming in from the Frenchman. And apparently there's going to be actually 2 defenders towards the B bomb side. So things are not looking too bad. The only problem is that your fast rotation has just been dealt with. And that means that both of them are actually going to focus elsewhere.
Yeah, it's rough, right? Because you kind of understand what Havu wanted to do. You group up, you kind of like mesh together when you have the deagles, when you're on a force but lesser weaponry. Nice shot from X7, picks up the scout. Very short-lived afterwards though. Jackson, Jocko, both silencing the Havu players. It's Ariel, the last man left, and I mean, it's fairly obvious how this one was going to go, right? Havu losing the pistol, you're bound to lose the follow-up, but it's a force buy, meaning your hands are pretty much tied here. Round 19 will be your next full buy. And by then, Heet are 13-5 up. And so you need nothing short of a miracle here, Ted, if Havu want to find themselves out on top.
Yeah, it's been a really good showing so far. And by the way, an interesting stat for you, actually. In Group A, we have a lot of experienced guys, right? We have a lot of players that have been a part of, a lot of tournaments across their careers and whatnot. Body is actually the one that's played the most LAN tournaments in his career in Group A. This is his 43rd LAN in his life.
Mate, that's unreal. How old is Body?
He's 25
that's
only.
Crazy, mate. I don't even know the words to explain.
It's a short span as well because he started playing in 2015, so he's played for only 7 years, right? Well, I say only 18? 7 years is still a lot, but
he's 18. His first.
Yeah, he was 18 when he started playing for LDLC, then went through G2, LDLC again, and then played for Double Pony that is now Heet. But yeah, a lot of LAN tournaments for the man. People actually tend to forget how much of a vital part Body was of that, OG G2 lineup that did win Dream Hackmasters Malmö 2017, that did win the Pro League. I think another Dream Hack Open in Tour, and that did win the ECS Season 1 finals.
It's been unreal. Spargo, Ariel. And you can see he's edging forward, wants the weapon. Where is it? Spargo, did you take it? Surely we get an upgrade on the USP, Mr. Ariel. No AK? Really? Oh, scores a Galil right at the end. 13-5 though. And this is it, right? This is the kill or be killed moment for Havu. You can win this full buy, maybe there's a chance. Lose it, I think it's all said and done, right? Heat are up to 14, Havu have to eco 15-5. You're not going to see him come back 10 rounds in a row. As much as I'd like to see the Finnish side win a game, right, in a Finnish venue, they've come narrowly close so many times.
Oh,
great shot from Spargo. The likelihood of them winning this one, though, is probably the least out of any of the games they've been playing today. It's been close a lot of the time. This one, the most one-sided, and a great response from Body through the wall, taking down Zen.
Yeah, and it's Body once again. As we said, after the first 3 rounds of the tournament today, he was actually the highest rated player out there. Still being able to put on star-like performances, and Jax is going to drop Dodo elsewhere towards long. That's going to open up a lot of space, and now Havu need to make a decision. Do they rotate the AWP out towards A to hold long, or they make him press forward towards middle? And it looks like it's going to be the second option. Has the support of Ariel for short as well. Fires a couple of shots. X7 needs to be careful though. He's been spotted towards the B bomb side, but they're going to run back into Ariel. Manages one. Still, they know that he's close by. Tries to deploy the smoke. Manages a second, and that's great stuff from Ariel.
How does he get away with pulling out the Galil and finding the kill there, Ted? Surely he's penalised before he gets the second exercise 1v3. 45 seconds, so the best part of a minute to work with. Bomb in his pocket, smoke nade combo to go with it. But of course, 3 players to find, all quite healthy. AWP, AK, Galil, there's a lot on the table right now. It's going to get difficult.
Yeah, he looked really undecisive there in this moment, right? Even though they had the man advantage, even though it's, well, normally you just want to group up and play it all together and just execute onto a bomb site. They just started running between the two bomb sites just started getting picked apart, and X7 is even going to finish things off through the smoke area. Doesn't really get to participate in this one. Havu do manage to win the first. As you pointed out, that's the first of many that they want to get under their belt here on the CT side of Dust 2. But you got to start somewhere. It's still a high mountain, but, you know, they've made the first step.
Disappointing to see that Havu still a large deficit to work with, but it has looked better in that previous round. If that's a showcase of things to come, certainly will be looking good. Zen trying to take the early fight, but it's Aerial that bites the dust first. Spargo at least will respond with the AWP. It's Afro removed. Ultimately, though, Ted, it's no advantage. It's settled at a stalemate, and Spargo,
Ooh.
I mean, that is a ridiculous angle to be in. 1 minute 30 on the clock left in this round, and he's found himself in suicide. That is with an AWP as well, may I say.
Yeah, but he misses the shot, so it doesn't really matter. It's actually a mistake. Well,
yes,
it's not a mistake. It's a good play, but he doesn't manage to find the kill. And that makes it really awkward. Now they've lost him. Zen is low on HP. He can't really recover an AWP or switch for one. So he's pretty much a dead man if they clear him out. And they have another man advantage position, and I don't think they're going to be throwing this one away this time around. And you can see Havu there a lot more pressured in the middle of nowhere. It says Dodo. No idea where to look. Zen actually gets the kill onto Jax, but that's not really going to change a whole lot, is it?
No, sir. Made place to do as little damage as possible to exercise, and I do believe in a 2v3 scenario when Zen's on an AWP and low HP, X7 kind of here with him, I'd expect nothing other than a save. It should be 14 on the board for Heet. And, well, Ted, I think it's safe to say that's Havu's hands certainly tied. Lose one more, and money will be reset, and they will be done. So it's all on the next one here, Ted. All on the next one.
Yeah. Unfortunately for Havu, they might be out of this really, really soon. And as we pointed out, this game doesn't really matter for, you know, the standings in the group, but it's still quite important in terms of pride. Havu are playing a tournament in Finland. You know, they're the only Finnish team in here at the Elisa Masters Espoo. So for them, it would be really important to be able to put on at least one decent result here. Well, at least one victory, because they've been able to put on some decent results, but haven't really been able to convert into winning. And in the meantime, you know, even on the back of the interview, that body that got released, in fact, 2 hours ago from Body on HLTV, yes. You know, him saying that every single victory that a French team gets is going to help out the French community and the French scene to recover. That just tells you the entire story about, you know, Heet and why they would want to get a victory here in their last game.
Wow. 14-6. Stakes certainly high within this matchup for the results of Group A. I'm wondering if Havu were to win this, do they actually take the place of Heet? Like, do they get second bottom rather than bottom of the pack?
I'm not sure.
I do believe so, if it goes to the head-to-head, right? Like the first
yeah, if it goes to the head-to-head, they will.
If Havu win, they go 5th, Heet goes 6th. But there's no money discrepancy, I don't think, between the bottom two, right? So no arguments really to be made there. As all they're fighting for is pride and those all-important HLTV points. Don't forget, you know, for Havu, it's a chance to get higher up those rankings, because I think with how they performed, especially in the first half of today, 66 is really rough for this team. Like they've had an unbelievable showing. Yeah,
it's been a little bit disappointing for them. The highest that they've been ever in terms of, you know, the organization was on the 26th of April in 2021. They were number 14 in the world. They already had actually picked up Aerial and X7 from Ends. They had Zori, Slowy, and Yemi on the lineup back then as well.
That's a throwback, you know.
Yeah.
Fair enough. I mean, we can start to see the action really picking up pace now. Zen, Spargo, both with kills, and yeah, not bad. Afro, last man left, 1v4, 10 seconds left. You've got to go for the save. I was going to give some interesting stat lines, right? For Havu, of course, they actually have the most games in the Elisa Invitational out of every single team. I do believe in Group A, well, it is in Group A, maybe even the entire tournament. They played Fall 21, where they had to play through the Open qualifiers. They didn't qualify. They came 5th to 8th in Winter 21 and Fall to 21, where actually there's a bit of history between these two teams, because in Winter 2021, Heet were the team to knock them out. 2-1 in a BO3. So definitely some payback to be had here for Havu. 5th to 8th, obviously 0-2 against Gambit. They went 9th, 12th in summer, losing to 777. They went 7th to 8th in spring 21, losing 0-2 to Skade. So they really haven't had the best of chances. This was their chance to burst onto the main stage, and although probably the most unorthodox way possible, I feel in some weird way they have done, right? Like the results they put up in those first 3 games, I said it earlier, it was 6 rounds difference between them going 0-3 and 3 overtimes, or it's 10 rounds difference between going 0-3 and 3-0. Like that is crazy.
Yeah, when you think about it as well from the point of view of, you know, having those games as BO1s, normally the BO1 format is really good for teams like that to put on some upsets, but I wouldn't really say that we've had some massive upsets. I mean, the 3 best teams, or rather the 4 best teams, were in the fight for the first 3 spots until the very end, right? And then we've had a Heet and Havu that have been able to put on a decent fight, but I guess you could say that, you know, the teams that were able to either be a part of the major or, you know, just compete at a higher level have been able to establish themselves as the best in this group, at least. Another round, though, on the cards. Heet with another investment. Some baited utility towards the B-bomb side. X7 needs to be careful because Afro is really close. Exorcist does manage to find 1 looks for a second. He's going to find Zen as well. 3 versus 3. Bomb is going to go down any moment now. In the pitch 50 of body. Tapping away. Doesn't really find a kill. Jax goes for 1 more. There's the bomb plant. And it's Spargo and Aerial to try and keep Havu in the game.
Ooh. Can they get it done? Retake required. It's the B site, but Exercise low, so a lot of weight's on Jax's shoulders, and it's a good peak first frag. There's number 1 or 2. Spargo, quick to follow suit. Exercise on the headshot angle. Orc versus AK. You know which gun you'll favor in there. 15-7. Map points. 1 minute and 55, quite possibly away from rounding out today here, Ted, with Heet getting their 2nd win here in Group A. Obviously, having lost to Gamer Legion. Beating Gamer Legion. Hold on a second. Heet beat Gamer Legion. Heet might go 4th.
Yeah, they can actually go into the 4th place, which...
Mate, that's a pay jump and a half.
Is it?
Well, yeah, because... oh, wait, never mind.
I don't think it is.
Isn't. That's, never mind.
No,
never
it's
mind.
the same.
It's the exact same. Again, I will use the excuse of it's late. But hey, man.
Yeah.
4th in the group looks better than 5th for Heet. They're going to be happy with that.
It does. Then you can tell the story. You're going to be like, oh, I was just one spot away, just one victory away from making playoffs.
To be fair, they were.
Yeah, true. Oh, Joko does manage to see Zen, and that's one of the M4s, and Joko's going to be able to find that kill. A quick 1-for-1. And now X7, he's all alone towards the B-bomb side. He's going to get tested. Does manage to pass the first one with an A, but there's going to be a whole lot more.
Brilliant business. Havu, 4v2, Exercise and Afro last men standing here. I mean, the jump spot is attempted, you know, the boost over the top of the smoke. Have a little look and see what's behind and beneath. Not going to have much of an issue here, though. I think Havu in finding 8. There's half of the problem resolved. Exercise, you're going to hear the bullet connect into the flesh. I think it's safe to say this one is going to be wrapped up very, very soon here. I think they'll hunt Exercise as well, maybe. Just try and do the damage and bring away this AK. Maybe only 1 goes in, because of course it would be a big expense if they lose all the rifles.
Yeah, I don't think you really want to lose too many guns on the hunt here. It's a long-term investment for you. You know, if you want to really push the limits and go into overtime, you got to build up that sustainable economy that's going to allow you to, you know, maybe get away with a couple clutch rounds and not really rely on how many people you lose later on. So now you got to focus on building up the cash. They're actually going quite heavily for this one. They want to make sure that there's going to be no AK saved up. Exorcist needs to be careful. Pre-fire is great. Dodo, make sure that not only there's going to be no AK, but there's going to be no money for Exorcist in the next round. 15-8. As Heet might actually have to go for a force buy here. Well, Exorcist has. I mean, he's just got the money for a single deke. We can't really fault him on that one.
Hurts to see. Hurts to see.
Do you think there is a chance of an overtime?
I'm going to need production to cover their ears. In all honesty, no. I just think 7 rounds is a lot, right? And I mean, sure, Heet are on a force buy here and an eco in the next. Like, it isn't going to be looking too good in the very moment. I think you just got to think, like, to lose 7 rounds here, Heat, like, they're going to have 3 full buys between it, right? And so surely you just convert one of the 3. Surely. That's my logical thinking. But then again, it is Counter-Strike, Ted, and we're
You
all
just go with the boring answer.
Do you know what then? Nah, mate, they win 19-15. Is that what you want out of me? Havu are going to win 19-15.
Yeah, you know, that's outside of the box. I like that. Creative thinking. You believe in them. Still, though, if watching CS for 6 years now has taught me one thing, that is never to underestimate a French team with pistols in hand. Heet. They are a team that knows how to make these ones quite painful. 2 Deagles, a Tech 9, an AK for Body, and a Scout for Afro. But look at Aerial. They have no idea he's towards the pit. Body's checking periodically, but surely at some point he's going to overlook it, and Aerial finds the kill. Afro with 1 on the Scout, but Aerial does manage to double up and double down. And that's going to be the round. Zen is going to have some fun towards short. Joko actually gets 1 for his troubles, but that's going to be about it. From that point on, it's just about the damage. And with 20 seconds, you got to feel like Joko just needs to find a way to die.
Yeah, 100%. I think it's safe to say. Maybe a hunt here, Joko. Look for the damage. Ooh, X7. Getting a bit sloppy. Deagle drawn. Now firing off that. Nice first connection. A second. Oh, just hide, Joko. Don't get too impatient. Ooh. Close, mate. Close. But he does keep the M4. Sadly, it's an eco. And yeah, I was going to say, you better get that Deagle to a teammate. It's just an extra expense that you don't have to pay for here. As Joko palms off his pistol, he'll keep the M4.
Yeah, at least he's going to try to dwindle the economy even further on the CT side. Not that it really matters at this point. I mean, you kind of just need the 1 round to close it out. In the really long term, it would make a difference, I guess, if you just continue getting 3-4 kills every single round. And, well, eventually Havu won't really have a lot of guns to work with. Zen actually has only the MP9 here.
Yeah, money. Money for Zen.
Only the MP9, I said.
Bad chance. They do really well. Yeah, ultimately. Finding this round was very important. Obviously, quite an easy one for Havu as well, considering the weapons they're up against. But as you said, to farm that cash, just a little bit extra that will go a long way.
Yeah, they're going to be able to establish their economy now after this one. It's going to be a clean round. Looks like they might even win it with all 5 surviving. That's going to be fairly impressive. And it's going to be 15-10. So 5 rounds away with a lot of money in the bank. And on the CT side of Dust 2, this one might not be over here for Havu. Might still have something to say about it. Bodies went a little bit silent. Actually, interestingly enough, Exorcist is the top frag on the side of Heet. Normally, the last person you'd expect that from. Afro as well, putting on big numbers onto 20. Oh no, it's actually Jax. Okay, let me correct myself. Jax is on 21.
It's just good, mate. It's just good. You are right, though. There's some very high-octane performers again. Nice to see that Body's able to take a step back, right? He's a very high-octane fragging IGL. Don't forget, like, he holds a lot of the responsibility when it comes to the calling on this T side, right, for Heet. So, nice to see some of that pressure's off his shoulders, and in that regard, he's got 3 solid pieces he can rely on right now that are very close to one another. You know, no disrespect to Joko, but just been a little quieter. Not he's needed to be there. HE, decent job. Zen, first kill, but only 1. So much damage. Aerial is just a little late on this.
Oh, he's heard him.
Body, yeah, 100%. Collect the noise, collect the kill. Do you expect Spargo to be there? Joko certainly does. 4v2. I feel like this is it, Ted.
Yeah, surely this is how it ends. Zen needs to find more than 1 kill there. Body with a lovely kill onto the first one. Calls for support on the second. And now it's just X7 and Dodo on a nearly impossible retake. Molotov is going to do a lot of damage and actually burn 1 to a crisp. X7 finds another one onto Body.
Whoa.
And a 3rd one through the smoke. X7! What the hell is going on? And it's now only Joko, a 1 versus 2. And he still doesn't know that there is a player on the flank. Does he realize it?
He's got to hide. He's got to play time, surely. That's the question mark. The bomb halfway ticked. Definitely going to have heard the steps of X7, but now he's Body. He's got to take fights. Can't get it. X7, he's got a kit. Doesn't matter. Plenty of time. You thought that was the end, but X7 finding 4, all of them in the 2v4 scenario. Gives an 11th for Havu, and maybe there's a chance at an overtime. You know, I was memeing it a bit earlier on, Ted, but not a bad opportunity now that they've won that round, and certainly will be some fuel for them to keep powering through.
Yeah, I can tell you what Heet said in their team speak after this round 100%, and it has the word blue in it. That's crazy. What a round to win for Havu. I mean, that was just onto X7, right? Getting the first one onto Afro with the Molotov, doubling up on the second player, and then even getting the third through the smoke. They're going to send it out B once again. They want to capitalize on Zen, and they've been able to do so. Zen, he's been having some massive issues holding to that B play.
Yeah, and now, of course, the deduction from this, from the CT side, is not only a loss of an M4, but that's now in the pockets of your opposition. And in a post plant like this, where B, as we talk about it, is such a fragile, such a dainty site, and especially when it comes to those retakes, it's so hard to reintroduce yourself back into. They've got to be cautious here. The next move is clinical, and well, Aerial has been tagged up from a fairly distant range. Heet, they've got to play it out on A right now, just providing support from range. They've got to be careful from behind. They've got to be careful from what's in front. And so they do indeed make the play. Exercise with one, Jocko a second, Dotto with two. But actually, Jocko responds with another. And all the pieces fall into